Welcome to Business Over a Brew. Pleased to be joined in this episode by a very jokesy Sara Edwards from the Cookie Factory.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up, and how did you end up owning the Cookie Factory?
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's a lot on camera. All right, my name's Sara. I did grow up in Alton. Have lived here my whole life. Went to St. Paul Middle School, then Alton High.
Mm-hmm.
I've moved away a couple times and had a blast, but you always just end up at your hometown. And then, let's see, I've been in the service industry for 10 years, so that's really what brought me to owning my own business in a restaurant, because it's super easy to me. Yeah, and so...
You're the first guest we've had say that it was super easy.
Yeah. So, worked at Jetlin's. That's the last bar restaurant I worked at, and left during COVID just over certain complications, whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, what am I going to do? I was sitting there contemplating, like, what am I going to leave here and do? And I was like, I can bake. I'll figure it out. And so, really, the next day, I started my bakery, Traditions Bakery, out of my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that lasted 2 years, and now I own the Cookie Factory.
So, tell us about Traditions a little bit, and just, what surprised you about that?
I don't know. Nothing surprises me because I've just had so many challenges in the server bartending world. So nothing was really like shock. But so the name Traditions came from me using all of my like aunts and grandma's recipes. So it was like tradition that I made these, so that's where the name came from. So I started with cheesecakes and breads and stuff like that. And I think just all the customers I got right off the bat was surprising. I did not expect that. And then I built my website, and it just like grew this huge social media platform and just took off from there.
Talk a little bit about you. Almost every business, whether it is or not, it's kind of a family business. You mentioned your aunts and your family cooking. Talk a little bit about that, expand upon that a little bit.
Okay. So my Aunt Chris has made these sugar cookies in our family forever, like since I was a baby. So forever. And
so
she's still
legendary family.
Yes, they are the best sugar cookies in the entire world. They're fluffy, they're thick, and they have like a little bit of like really sweet frosting on it with sprinkles. And she only makes them at Christmas time, and she still makes them. And she makes individual tins for each like niece and nephew, and we still get our own tins at Christmas.
Nice.
And I hoard my husband's now because I'm like, yeah, right. Are you getting one? And so she finally gave me the recipe, and now I make them, and it's still just not the same. Like hers will still be superior, but that's really where it started, because they are just the best things ever.
So take me through Traditions when did the idea or who approached Linda McCormick, longtime owner of the Cookie Factory? How did that transaction take place? Who approached who?
I just texted her. I saw her article in the Telegraph about her retiring and selling the Cookie Factory. I'm like, whatever, I'll just text her. So I said, hey, how much? And we met the next morning, and it was pretty much a done deal.
Real tense negotiations and back and forth.
It was longer than I expected. I had never taken out a loan. I didn't know all the process, and so we really started at the end of October and didn't close until January 1st.
Well, growing up here, I'm sure you were familiar with, obviously you knew Linda and you knew the Cookie Factory.
I've known Linda forever.
And had experiences there, and I'm sure that was appealing to you about buying it.
Yep. I worked at Macy's when I was 18, so I ate at the Cookie Factory all the time, got fountain sodas, frozen Pepsis, you name it, had a blast, met Linda there. And then going on to like Tony's and Bluff City and Jetlin's and waiting on her and Mike almost every single night of the week. We just became close and friends. And so, yeah.
I bet she's very happy that it's in your capable hands.
Pretty much since the day we met, she was like, I have a couple other women like in the lineup, but I think I really want you to be the one that gets it.
What's been the hardest part of it so far? I know you said it's been a pretty smooth ride, really.
The employees, for sure. There's just a challenge, and it's nothing nothing to stop me in my tracks. Like, I'm not going to succeed or anything, but they're definitely challenging.
Yeah, and it's gotten different for sure, I think, over the last couple of years from just an employee standpoint, finding them, number one. And
luckily for me, that has not been a problem. Like, kids want to work at the Cookie Factory because I have pretty much all teenagers. It's a good after-school weekend job, and they just, like, refer their friends. They refer friends. So they all know each other. They grew up with each other. They have classes together. So they're all friends, know each other. And I really a couple of them have worked there for 2 or 3 years at this point. So I leave at 4 o'clock every day, and I trust them. They've got it. It's in the hands of some 17-year-olds right now. Yeah. It's great. I love them all, and yeah, I said has been no problem finding employees.
I think we as an old man, we grouse about young people a lot. And,
it's different.
It's unfair, I think, in a lot of ways too, because there's some young people that do not fit the stereotype, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that, and getting to know them more, they do fit that stereotype. They are the typical teenager.
Okay, good.
Yes. I was like, oh, they're so awesome. And I'm like, oh, no, okay.
Oh,
they're teenagers.
Right,
they're teenagers. Yeah, their mom still tells them what to do. So
I think, though, we tend to think that, the people, young people are changing. I think it's probably more a case of, we've changed. We don't think that way
right,
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. So,
I know. You really do turn into your parents, and I'm like, dang it.
Oh, I know.
I'm that adult now. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give to somebody thinking about starting their own business or taking that leap to go out on their own?
So I don't know about any other business, but if you're going to get into the restaurant biz, just definitely have the industry background. I think coming out of business school or just saying, hey, I want to open a business and not having that experience will hurt you. I think the only reason I'm doing as good as I'm doing in the business world is because I've had 10 years of experience. That has really, really helped me.
Saw some things that worked, saw some things that didn't work.
Truly learning from my employers. Yep.
Yeah,
because I've had some good ones and some bad ones.
Having that industry experience certainly helps, and being able to see. It's funny for me. I worked at the company that I'm general manager of now, and I thought, boy, when I'm running this place, we won't do it that way.
Yeah, I know.
But then when you get there, sometimes like,
it works though.
Right.
You just see who does it and who doesn't. That's all it is. You just get rid of those people. I don't know.
Anything that you would do differently about the last 3 months or even 2 years going back to traditions?
Well, I'm definitely learning in these 3 months, definitely new stuff every single week, but another hurdle to jump over. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
So the Cookie Factory's been around for a long time.
42 years.
42 years.
Yeah.
Were there things you thought, when I get there, I'll change that?
Yep. Well, definitely not the cookies and the cookie cakes. I knew right off the bat I was not changing those because that is an Alton staple. And those cookie cakes are truly my bread and butter. But I just changed out, a lot of stuff was coming in already cooked and we just baked and iced or whatever. And I'm all homemade. So any pastry, bread is all homemade. And I think that's made a huge difference. People can tell. And I know when I spend $3 or $4 on a pastry, I want it to be fresh out of the oven and homemade. And that's what you get at Cookie Factory.
Right. I said when I took over as general manager that our owner and previous general manager, Sam Stem, had done a great job. And I wasn't going to come in and make any, monumental changes, but we were going to tweak some things to try to make them a little better. So was that kind of the philosophy there?
Yes. Yep. So we're still running on a cash register from 1978 for sure.
Yeah.
And we're getting new POS systems. Can't wait for that. And just updating credit cards and just the layout of the restaurant and changing the wall colors, just simple stuff to update it.
It's become, in your business and really every business, I think, just the convenience of paying. The expectation is going to be that you almost have to have that where I can pay with my phone or at the very least I got to be able to just tap my credit card.
It's all about Apple Pay. And I didn't even know you could tap the credit card until one of my teenage employees truly showed me the other day. I had no idea. You don't even have to insert the card anymore. It's great.
Right, yeah. So if people want to find out more information about you or they want to stop by and grab a cookie, where can they do that?
So you can go to Cookie Factory, of Alton.com, or our phone number is 618-462-5731.
And of course, stop by and see you at the mall. And
that's right.
Lower level now.
No, I have 2 businesses. So the lower level is Cookie Express, and then Cookie Factory's upstairs.
So both of you.
Both, yeah. We're at both entrances.
Worlds, so, right. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you.